Hello, everybody, and welcome back to XOXO. Alex, we are doing a morning story time today, and it is Charlie Brown. I am so excited for Thanksgiving, and I love Charlie Brown. So here's Charlie Brown, Turkey, and Snoopy. And this is called a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving by Charles M Schulz. Let's get started. It's Thanksgiving, and Charlie Brown's friend, Lucy, can't wait to celebrate. Charlie Brown, I'll hold this football, and you kick it, Lucy says. You can't fool me, says Charlie Brown. I'll come running up, and you'll pull the football away like you always do. Do you think Lucy's going to pull the football away? Yes. I think so too, because Lucy is never up to any good, is she? She did the same thing on Halloween. Let's see what happens. But you can't fool me, says Charlie Brown. I'll come running up and you'll pull the football away like you always do. But one of the best traditions is the Thanksgiving football game, says Lucy. And the most important part is the kickoff. Charlie Brown thinks Lucy will let him kick the football if it's a holiday tradition. He runs toward the football, but she pulls it away again. Now Charlie Brown's on his back. Later, Charlie Brown is talking with his sister Sally and his friend Linus. Why should I give thanks on Thanksgiving? Sally asks. I haven't even finished eating my Halloween candy yet. Besides, all Thanksgiving does is make more work for us in school. Linus disagrees. Thanksgiving is a very important holiday, he explains. Ours was the first country in the world to make a national holiday to give thanks. Sally sighs and stares lovingly at Linus. Isn't he the cutest thing? Linus just rolls his eyes. What are you going to do on Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown? Sally and I are going over to our grandmother's house for dinner, Charlie Brown says. As soon as they got back home, Charlie Brown gets a call from Peppermint Patty. My dad said I could join you for Thanksgiving, she says. I don't mind inviting myself over, since I know you kind of like me, Chuck. Charlie Brown tries to explain that he is going to his grandmother's house for dinner, but Peppermint Patty keeps talking over him. By the way, I told Marcy and Franklin about the big turkey dinner you're having, so you can count on 3 for dinner. Peppermint Patty has invited herself, Marcy, and Franklin over for Thanksgiving dinner, and I'm not even going to be home, Charlie Brown groans to Linus. Linus has an idea. You can have 2 dinners. Cook the first one for your friends, and then go to your grandmother's house with your family for the second one. But there's one flaw to Linus's plan. Charlie Brown doesn't know how to cook. All I can make is cold cereal and toast, Charlie Brown admits. Linus isn't discouraged. Maybe we could help, he says. Snoopy, go out to the garage and get a table for the backyard. Snoopy salutes Linus and gets to work. What does salute mean? What do you do when you salute somebody? Yes. Good. Snoopy and Woodstock find an old ping pong table and they bring it outside. Then Snoopy sets up chairs around the table. Lawn chairs, beach chairs, rocking chairs, enough for everyone. To top it off, they add a pretty tablecloth set the table, and even fold the napkins for each place setting. They're getting pretty fancy, aren't they? Snoopy's doing a good job. Now that the table is ready, Snoopy, Woodstock, Charlie Brown, and Linus start to make Thanksgiving dinner. Linus and Charlie Brown set up toasters and put in slices of bread. Once the bread is toasted, Snoopy butters all the pieces and snacks them on a serving platter. This is Snoopy putting the butter on all of the toast for Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving. While Linus and Charlie Brown get popcorn, jelly beans, and pretzels, Snoopy and Woodstock disappear for a minute, and then they return dressed up like pilgrims. Charlie Brown isn't impressed. "How can you serve the food in that ridiculous outfit?" he scolds Snoopy. "The guests will be here soon." Snoopy sighs and reaches for his chef's hat. This is a chef's hat. So, if you're ever at a restaurant, look and see if you can see the chefs. See what they're wearing. Sometimes they'll wear a chef's hat. Sometimes they have an apron on. But it's what they wear when they are cooking food. Soon, Peppermint Patty, Marcy, and Franklin arrive and follow Charlie Brown out to the big table in the backyard. It's time for dinner. Snoopy is about to serve the guests when Peppermint Patty cuts in. "Shouldn't we say grace first?" she asks. What is grace? When somebody says, "Should we say grace?" what do they mean? Yes, a prayer. Good. So she's asking if they should say a prayer before they start eating. Linus stands up. "In the year 1621, the Pilgrims had their first Thanksgiving feast," he begins. Elder William Brewster, who was a minister, said a prayer that went something like this: "We thank God for our homes and food and our safety in a new land. We thank God for the opportunity to create a new world for freedom and justice." "Amen," Peppermint Patty says. Snoopy lifts the lid off of a big platter and reveals the feast: freshly popped popcorn, colorful jelly beans, salty pretzel sticks, and a stack of hot buttered toast. He loads up each guest's plate and sends it sailing over to them. So, we have jelly beans, freshly popped popcorn, buttered toast, and some salted pretzels right here. Uh-oh, somebody doesn't look happy. Peppermint Patty frowns. "What kind of Thanksgiving dinner is this? Where's the turkey, cranberry sauce, and pumpkin pie, Chuck?" she asked Charlie Brown. "Don't you know anything about Thanksgiving dinners? What blockhead made all of this?" She throws down her popcorn in disgust. She's not acting very thankful, is she? No. Snoopy pulls his chef's hat down over his face, and Charlie Brown gets up and walks away from the table. "You were kind of rough on Charlie Brown," Marcy says to Peppermint Patty. "Rough?" Peppermint Patty shouts. "We were supposed to be served a real Thanksgiving dinner." "But did he invite you here?" Marcy asks. "Or did you invite yourself and us too?" Peppermint Patty thinks for a minute. She knows Marcy is right. "Marcy, maybe you could go to Chuck and patch things up for me." Marcy isn't so sure that's a good idea. "I think maybe you should go to Chuck and tell him yourself," she says. "I'll just ruin everything. You go and speak for me." So now Peppermint Patty feels bad because she was not nice to Charlie Brown. And she wants her friend Marcy to patch things up. But Marcy is saying that she should do it. But Peppermint Patty is too afraid she'll mess things up again. So Marcy goes and talks to Charlie Brown. Back in the house, Marcy finds Charlie Brown in the living room, looking upset. Peppermint Patty didn't mean all those things she said, Marcy tells him. Actually, she really likes you. I'm just sorry I ruined everyone's Thanksgiving, he moaned. But Marcy knows Charlie Brown is missing the point. Thanksgiving isn't just about eating, she says. We should be thankful for being together. That's what Thanksgiving is all about. Peppermint Patty sneaks up behind the two of them. Apologies accepted, she asks, offering to shake hands with Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown smiles and shakes her hand. So, what is Thanksgiving really about? Is it about the turkey and the cranberry sauce and the mashed potatoes? No. That's something that people do on Halloween or on Thanksgiving. They get together and they eat, but it's really about being thankful, being able to spend time with each other, especially your family and friends. It's not about the actual food, it's about the company and the people that you're surrounded with. There's always something to be thankful for, and Thanksgiving is a day to celebrate that. Just then, the clock chimes. Good grief, Charlie Brown cries. It's 4 o'clock. He and Sally are supposed to be at their grandmother's house in half an hour. Charlie Brown picks up the phone and dials his grandmother's number. Charlie Brown starts to tell his grandmother that they'll be late for dinner because their friends haven't eaten yet. But after a minute, he breaks into a huge grin. Everyone, Charlie Brown, Sally, Franklin, Linus, Peppermint Patty, and Marcy is invited to Thanksgiving dinner at his grandmother's house. They seem pretty excited. Peppermint Patty runs to the backyard. We're all invited to Charlie Brown's grandmother's for Thanksgiving dinner, she cries. Everyone cheers. After the gang piles into the car, they settle into their seats and wave goodbye to Snoopy and Woodstock. Isn't there an old song about going to a grandmother's house? Marcy asks. Peppermint Patty nods, and all the kids start to sing. You want to sing? Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. One more time? Okay. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. They're very excited. Back at Snoopy's doghouse, Snoopy and Woodstock put the finishing touches on their own Thanksgiving dinner with pumpkin pie for dessert. Thanksgiving is always special, especially when you celebrate with friends. And that is the end of A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. What is something that you are thankful for? On the count of 3, I want you to say it out loud, okay? I'll do it too. 1, 2, 3. My family. Good. Your family, your friends. You can be thankful for food, your dog, your health, that you're able to play soccer or whatever sport, that you can draw, that you can sing and dance. Whatever it is, there's always something to be thankful for. And Thanksgiving is about celebrating everything that you have in your life and being thankful for it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all for the next story time. Mwah.